We were talking the other day about Finnair, and they're being used as by British Airways for some of their domestic flights. Or it's quite interesting because I've got one sitting over there that looks very much like that's a BA flight, I have to say. Good afternoon. Hello, folks. How are we all? Let's just do a. It's quite a, you know, it's quiet as a mouse out there. Somebody's still awake. Anyway, good afternoon, folks. It is just coming up to 3 o'clock, 5 to 3, if you haven't already turned your watches forward or whatever it is you do. Luckily for us, most of modern technology these days does it automatically for you, although I do still have 3 rather large clocks in my abode that I have to physically wind 1 hour. Oh, it's such a pain once a year. Anyway, 09 left arrivals. It's quiet, like I say. Interestingly enough, just before I came on air, I think he's probably landed by now. London to London, 787, British Airways 787. Shortest, almost air show style departure. Took off, obviously, absolutely nothing on board. Seems like that was going to Gatwick. Now, that's probably maintenance. Now, what is interesting about that is there's a lot of space down there at the Heathrow maintenance section, so there wouldn't be an issue. Maybe there's a brake specialist down there, and the reason why I say that, electronics specialist down there, because she went up and she was all the way climbing all the way out with her gear down again, as we've been seeing quite a lot of with the 787. With the electronic braking system. Very interesting when you look at that whole thing, in fact, in terms of the weight saving of an electronic system versus a hydraulic system. Hydraulics weigh quite a lot, all the hoses, all the pumps, all the ancillaries, all the fluid, all that kind of stuff. But what about this? Straight out the box, LATAM from Sao Paulo. Very, very subdued and derated with that almost direct headwind. Those over-wing spoilers braking systems are going to work more effectively than in, say, a crosswind, etc. So therefore, when they pull the reverser levers up, which are the spindly ones in front of the throttle assembly, the quadrant. But then again, it's a 2-engine, so how can it be a quadrant? Anyway, whatever. The throttle levers, thrust levers, as some people like to call them. They are literally set for derated, so idle thrust. So they're just open for the sake of being open, really, more than anything else. So it's going to be a nice, quiet, relaxed afternoon here at London Heathrow, folks. Hope you're doing well. Sitting there with your full bellies. Or just starting your food. No, not going to watch him. Come on, get to the table. Yeah, this is definitely BA, innit? BA have definitely gone back to utilising Finnair's spare fleet, which is quite interesting. Obviously, Finnair either having a lot of spare aircraft or just not having the demand on their aircraft at this stage, in terms of ticketing and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you'll get to see the A220 will stop dead and make it for that that exit point there. Interestingly enough, if you look there, that is actually part of one of the old runways. Which one would that be 25 or something crazy like that? Someone's going to say it. Someone's going to say it. Let's jump on the comments. Okay, first off, out of the box, we've got K-Drive gifting 10 Big Jet TV memberships. That's a wonderful thing to do, K-Drive. Thank you very much indeed. And there we have, I think it's Jim. Is it Jim? Who's gifted 5 Big Jet TV memberships. Lovely thing to do, Jim. Just also bear in mind that those lucky new members, I'm hoping that they're new members, fresh out of the box, unfamiliar with what membership offers here on Big Jet TV. You'll be with us next week in Toulouse. It's all booked up, folks. We're heading down to Toulouse to the Airbus factory, or when I say the factory, it's the Airbus assembly line for A350, A330, 339 that is, as well as the 330 CEO, I think still, and the A320, 220 and 321 in Hamburg, of course. But what we'll be seeing is a lot of aircraft, well, hopefully a number of aircraft, been some time since we've been there, so it will be great to sort of like catch up on what's going on, possibly see Virgin's latest 339, I think, possibly, and also British Airways newest addition to the Airbus 350 fleet. Quite interesting that BA have not opted for the 339, but they were never a 330 customer really anyway, were they? So really what Virgin have done is just replace their aging 330 CEO fleet over time with the oh blimey, missed that GP, mate, missed that. Oh flipping heck, look at this. Oh mate, I really need someone in the air, man, when I'm here, because it's like you know. No, I know. It's a third person, is what I'm saying. Like, you know, look right, you know, now or whatever. a scout. You know, I need a scout. That's a shame I missed that, man. Very smooth touchdown. Yeah, but we can't, man, because it's just more. It's more stuff being added to the pot, in it. I've got enough to. Etihad freighter, this one, folks. She's a pure freighter as well, I think. Can't see any, mind you, they do patch those windows up well, but you can see all the panelling down the side there where the windows would normally be. Is it Etihad or is it Qatar? Is it Etihad or Qatar? Is this Qatar? I say it is Etihad. Wow, that's a rare horse, that is, isn't it? Jade Outram is a new member. Welcome, Jade. You got what, GP? Sorry? Oh, I've got one on approach. Qatar 777-200 freighter inbound. Okay, thank you. So it's another Finnair / BA code share. Is this a genuine Finnair? Is it? This is BA. Okay. Ignore it. He'll go to sleep. He'll go to sleep. Can't do every day. You can't do every day. You can kill yourself. 59, not 39. Very smooth. Now definitely BA. It's got the reversers open, but it's got a bit there. Yeah, there's a bit there. 10% maybe, if anything, really. She's a dirty girl, man. Look at those flaps. Filthy, dirty flaps there. Now the hum begins on those Trents. Taxi idle. Okay. Etihad 787-10 in next, followed by Gulf Air's 787-9 from Bahrain. And just, I think, going into another segment of the hold is from Bogota, Avianca. How are we all doing, folks? I hope you're doing well. Jane Dudley is a new member as well. Jane, a very warm welcome to you. Hope your Sunday's going well, folks. The end of your week. Enjoy it. Sit back and relax, and we'll be here for a good few hours to bring you some nice... Oh, flipping heck, mate. There's another one. I just missed another one. Didn't see this one. This one crept up on me, man. Oh, mate, I really... No, you did. Oh, yeah, but Jelly, man. Yeah, you might... That was 3 minutes ago, mate, when I filmed about 500 other things. I need it, like, you know, thin air at 500 feet. That's when I need it. Thin air at 500... sorry. Cafe at 500 feet or whatever at whatever it is at 500 feet, because then I can know to switch. Not like 5 minutes in advance. Matt Leslie, Stephanie Quinlan, Alexandra Wood, Paul Skinner, Randy Bushbound. So many US airlines ramping up for service to Europe. July, August, September. I can fly to Europe for less dollars than me flying to upstate New York. Just crazy. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Interesting that I heard that apparently United Airlines looking to up the ante, 23 operations a day, inbound, outbound, into London and out of London Heathrow. 23 operations a day for 2023 is their goal. I don't think they're probably that far off that at the moment, you know. Wow. I think one of the things that we might find next week down in Toulouse is the engine shortage. I think Rolls-Royce, well, all the major engine manufacturers are having an issue with the raw material. Well, not so much raw materials, but components, which obviously the manufacturers themselves are having issues with the raw materials. You know, titanium, carbtanium. Thanks. 500. Yeah, please, because she's still over the. Boggy Magnuson, good day to you and a very warm welcome to Big Jet TV. Gold Hawk Road. Interesting. Gold Hawk Road is a new member. Welcome, Gold Hawk Road. Welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. How's your Sunday? That's pretty much a nice scheduled arrival / departure for Etihad. You ought to message him back. Well, you should message him back to find out, get details on that, GP. Just because then we can you know, follow that up to see whether or not it is, because either he's blagged it, or yeah, which yeah, and you haven't had one for ages. Dreamliner. Avianca Dreamliner from Bogota. Next, folks. Yeah, it's in. I guess it's arrived. Yeah. Congratulations to our good friends at Etihad. Sorry. I'll come back to that one. Might find half an horse's head in my bed tomorrow morning if I don't. Come on, son. Make a bit of noise. There we go. Still quite derated, but decent enough. Little flash of orange. It's the only one on there, isn't it? Wow, lots of new members and nice. 339 on the push. Virgin Atlantic. Either that or he's going to remote stand. HGC, great sound. Thank you, HGC. That's always what feet, GP? Got it. This is nice, folks. This is another rare jet. Well, not really, actually. We see her quite often, actually. Qatar freighter. Happy jet, look. Very derated. Just goes to show how effective those overwing speed brakes are. Literally that, speed brakes, spoilers, if you want to call them that. I think a lot of the old school aviationists possibly call them ground spoilers, possibly. John Shartis, Sharit, sorry. John, please repeat your question now. I'm going to listen. I'm going to wait for it on here now, my friend. Yeah, do apologise. It is a little bit I hate to use the word cliquey, folks, but it is a little bit like that, and I'm the first to admit it, and I do apologise. There's very little you can do about it. I do apologise. So John, please, anybody come in with a question. I'll try and answer your questions. GP, can you? Yeah, it's always very difficult, folks. I do try my best, do I not, to ask you please to just say hello one time to everybody, rather than hello John, hello Steve, hello Fiona, hello Phil, hello Bob, hello Jane, hello, you know, and then it just gunks up the feed. Nobody's going to be offended if you don't say hello individually. Bear that in mind. So please, you know, give other folks a chance, new members especially, anybody who wants to come in and get involved in the chat. It's not an afternoon tea session, folks. You know, I don't want to sound like an old lemon, if that's the way it is, but you know, K-Drive, thank you very much indeed, gifting 10 Big Jet TV memberships. Good afternoon, everybody. DHL 767 in at 1703. That's nice. Makes a bit of difference, doesn't it? Stephen Callahan, Emirates 380 over Antwerp, 40 minutes out. Lars Rasmussen, don't worry about the likes, Lars. We're not desperate for likes. We're not desperate for subscribers. All that kind of stuff. We don't cry out for it. But we appreciate the likes. They'll come, and you know, it'll happen, I guess. But don't worry. Sit back and enjoy the show, and don't worry about other things that are going on around. Eddie S. Good afternoon, everybody. Singapore Slinger, 12 out, Stephen Callahan. Thank you, Stephen. Great. Blair A, good day to you, and a very warm welcome to Big Jet TV. Great to see that Etihad freighter over there. Very rare jet. Paul, Aero Mexico, 787, 11 minutes out. Thank you very much indeed. TCC, is it possible for pilots to fake logbook hours now? No, it's not. That's an instant dismissal, basically, if you do something like that. Yeah, it's not. I guess in the old days it may have been. Richard Groves, question for Jerry. London Southend wants to get more passengers through their terminal. Now, London Southend, why don't they let the likes of BA and KLM to operate from there? What do you think? And others. Richard Groves, that's a good question. But, you know, it's all about connectivity, I think, is the word there. And KLM, I think KLM are already in at London Stansted. Of course, that's a long way further inland than the South End. I think it's just a geographical thing, to be perfectly honest with you. There's no sort of like, you know, I'm sure their infrastructure's good. I'm sure their servicing is good. Everything's good there, but it's just their geographical location. What's that, GP? Got it. Thank you. Now, this is Trent 700 engines. This should make a little bit of a racket, hopefully. Reverse is open. No. again. It's got about 20% on there, I think, maybe. So like a mixture of brakes, speed brakes and reversers. Justin Hoke is a new member. Welcome, Justin. Good to see you here. Very warm welcome to you. Brian Clarkson is returning with a gold star. Good day to you, Brian. Blair A is a new member. Welcome, Blair. Do you remember the Compass Road on the airfield? Remember seeing a VC-10 being turned around in it, having its compass calibrated. Narrowboat Georgie boy, what a fantastic memory there, VC-10 being. Oh my goodness me, if only we sort of like look back and appreciate what we had then as opposed to, yeah, I mean what we've got now is great, don't get me wrong, but oh, you know, if only one could time travel, but then we'd all be well, Charlie Redpath, what time are we at Toulouse on Wednesday? Are there any special ops? Don't know, Charlie. It's always a fishing trip when we go to Toulouse, as you know. So you just have to sit back and put us on and see what happens. We have no idea. We have no knowledge of what's coming in, going out, being delivered, that's going to be being towed from one end of the field to the other end of the field. Flight tests, of course, don't forget, with the Airbus family jets. They've been flight testing, cold testing actually, their A321XL recently up in Newfoundland or wherever it was. Of course, you get other component tests and stuff like that. They're constantly testing stuff out there in Toulouse. But also, I doubt very much that we're going to get any sort of like view into the hydrogen engine, the power plant that they are planning to bolt onto the left-hand side. I think the left-hand side of the A380 test bed, which is wow. Cathay 747 in 1825 after a delay. Yeah, Diane 78, thank you very much indeed. Tony Duty, thank you very much indeed. Mirrors, Andrew Rideout, loving the A330. Royal Jordanian 787, 2 minutes out, Gary Lyon saying. Okay, so that will not be very long at all. Good day to everybody. Hope you're doing well. Randy Schwartz, the spoilers have two purposes. They do provide braking force, but they also allow the high pressure air from under the wing to exit through the opening, thereby reducing lift. Interesting. I like that. That makes perfect sense. So when you're on the approach and you see what you would imagine the speed brakes, I was under the impression that those, but so they when they're up, they're braking the air, but they're also allowing the air under the wing to bypass up and through the through the top of the wing, if you see what I mean. So I guess there's, yeah, like he says, there's two purposes to it, and of course using it to brake on the ground when she's slowing up, decelerating or decel. Got it. Vic and Bob's jet. It's quite a... Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay, I think I missed somebody's question about runway resurfacing or how often they resurface the runway or runways. Did actually, ironically enough, in the space of two shows, we've had the same question asked. But my apologies once again. Like I say, folks, please don't throw your toys out of the pram. If I miss your question, appreciate the fact that I'm looking in my monitor now. I'm not able to permanently look at the question. So if I miss your question, either somebody may answer it on the feed, or I'll get to it when I can. Aviation Bubble is a new member. Welcome, Aviation Bubble. Laura landed at London Heathrow on Thursday evening. Was worried it might be a bit bumpy landing since Jerry was there for the winds, but thankfully it was smooth. Okay, so did we catch you then, Laura? That's brilliant. Mark Bollock tuning in from Kansas City. Flew the 182 around a bit yesterday. Beautiful day, but got bounced around down low. Beware of the puffy clouds. Enjoy the day and thanks for the entertainment, Jerry. Mark, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, the light jet. A light aircraft, sorry. Yeah, it's quite surprising. The like he says, beware of the puffy white clouds. They can be quite notorious for. There's a lot of stuff going on inside a cloud. You know, the flow of air going up and down, and all the water droplets flying about all over the place, going up and then cooling and then coming back down, and so on and so forth, or the other way round. But yeah. Some cloud can be a little bit unpredictable, I would say. TCC, loving the shot. ANA 2 out. Interesting, Paul, thank you for that. ANA, All Nippon Airways. They have two of their Star Wars jets back in operation. R2-D2 and C-3PO. And C-3PO we haven't seen before. I don't think so. Or did we see it? Did we see it in the US? No, I don't think we have. But I messaged them and said, you know, please bring them into London Heathrow. C-3PO is just going to be doing domestic stuff, believe it or not, out there in Japan. But R2-D2 we've seen here before, and hopefully they'll be bringing it back. But I did reply to them saying we're coming to Haneda potentially, possibly in May of this year. That's the plan. That's when the windy season is. I mean, it's debatable about the winds. Some people say it's sort of like March, April, but we think that it's going to be around about May time that we're going to get out there. They like that. We said, well, we'll have to come there to Haneda to catch the jet, and hopefully we will. A few heavies in a row, John Yeti saying, thank you. Ian Forber asking, have you any idea, any plans to visit the Beluga at Hawarden? Yes, that's a show that Airbus in down there in Bristol are very much aware of, and they're very keen to for us to do a show down there. As I've mentioned, wow, that's interesting. Out on the airfield, he's doing that. On the runway itself. Normally, it's on the grass. But yes, we are planning a show with the guys at Airbus. A loading an A350 or other wing loading procedure. This should be pretty interesting. Using the Beluga XL. There's two ops vehicles on the arrivals runway. Have they? Is anything stacked at the back? The Aviation Bubble. We've given him a shout out, haven't we? Matt Crane is a new member. Tixie cleared up at. Oh, that wasn't him just now. I just saw, was it? Katie D. No winds today, Katie. Very mild winds from the east. Brian Stewart, maybe you'll get to see the ANA flying Honu to Haneda. absolutely. Puss in BJ's Emirates 380. Kim Kinzer, Haneda will be wonderful with the skyline. Oh yes. Is he on the 7.6 or on the 7.8 GP? Might be on the triple, I don't know. A 6Y, you guys still going to be around at 6:10 for the Finnair 350 going out. I'm on the right hand side. Well, yeah, difficult one that, because first of all you'll be on the wrong side for us to see you. Secondly, we'll catch the departure more than likely. Open up those big XWBs. That see the sliders, the rods to control the slider doors, or the arms, I guess you could say. Of course, Screaming Emu making a very valid point the other day as well at those inboard speed brake spoilers, whatever, creating more pressure on the downward. Like downforce, so to speak, on the main undercarriage, so as to maximise the braking power. Oh, 380 going out of 209 right. It's amazing how effortless it does look. Thanks. That's it, Jilly. You're up to speed now, mate. Engine's warmed up. Come on, son, open it up. Very derated. .168, he said. That's a Cessna, isn't it? Isn't that a Cessna 168? That's westbound, isn't it? So you can see the wings flexing there, man. See how much of a flex that's got, around about 11 foot, they reckon. Even though it doesn't look it as, but when you look at it at that angle, now you can see that the wings really flexed up. G'day. Cheers. China Eastern, triple. Is he even going to open them? Yeah, there we go. Bit of late thruster door. Nice. Yeah, I'm intrigued about the whole that BA flight going down a gap with that Dreamliner. I don't know if there's any engineers around, and I doubt very much that they'd really be in a position to tell us anyway as to the reason for that, whether or not it is a maintenance flight or a test flight, perhaps. Certainly, possibly related to brakes because the gear were down for so long. Another late retraction of the undercarriage. KTD. Ontario crazy winds. Okay, now this might make a bit of a noise. The original Screamliner. High speed approach there, man. Looked it anyway. Go on, son. Nope. Actually, yes. I apologise. That was quite decent, wasn't it? Not going to go off there, though, is he? He's not going to go off there, is he? It's not actually an exit. It's more an entry point for an intersection departure. It's going to. There we go. There he goes. Not quite fast. Okay, folks, here we go. Singapore A380, the Slinger. I think it's a direct headwind now, isn't it? Is it a full easterly? Whoa, bit of a lurch there. All that momentum now. Here we go. Yeah, they left that running for a long time. Nice. Of course, he'll use that long exit because that's basically where he's headed over to. Terminal 3, 2, 2, 3. 3 down the bottom. 2 up the ramp. That's the way I remember it. Pussy PJ tail flapping. Sailor Mike 3 tiddlers, then BA 350 1000. VJ's talking to Nick Vernon, I believe sorry folks, I believe the rectangular bars boxes you refer to are covers for some of the motors that control the extension and retraction of the flaps. helps with the airflow. Isn't it? Rectangular bars, boxes. Covers for some of the motors that control. Yeah, the canoes. I think they're possibly discussing there is the is those large, well, aft. There we go. You can see one of them there. They do house, indeed, they do house the not so much the motors, but they house the control spinners. It's basically a spin rod system that winds, or it's a winder which winds the flaps down, or it's I mean, usually, more often than not, the speed brakes above the wing are hydraulically operated, and the flaps themselves are winders, like almost like screws, and that's why you can hear them retracting or extending, whichever, whether you're taking off or departing, and you hear that noise. Kerry Davis, does anyone know when Emirates 380 will be back operating out of Birmingham? Well, I shouldn't imagine it will be that long. 777 currently out of Birmingham, isn't it? And of course, big congratulations to Emirates Airlines for resuming services in Glasgow today. Hope everything went well there for all the folks there. I don't think she's gone out yet, but obviously a lot of people local to Glasgow, or maybe not so local, have travelled there to see that happen. And our best wishes to all of them. Pratt & Whitney powered A330 CEO. Of course, the CEO is still being used, I believe, for in terms of manufacture, for specialist operations. The freighter variant, of course. Very popular aircraft in terms of freight, both as a converted aircraft but also as a factory original. Mark Jenkin just mentioning there to Kevin about the inboard reversers only on the A380. Interesting story behind that. Yes, the inboards do have enough power, but the main reason why the A380 only has inboard reversers is originally, when the aircraft was conceived and designed and put on the drawing board, they were looking at the number of wheel braking that they would have, and they decided that in fact, it probably would, to be honest with you, the aircraft would have enough braking power to not need reversers at all, but they met halfway with the customers and decided that they would go with the inboards only. Whoa, easy, son. Cool, flipping heck. I mean, I know you can put those things down flat, bit like a belly flop, innit? So there's the canoes that they're commonly called, those fingertips that you can see there. That's the canoe system. It's an aerodynamic cover, obviously, for all the componentry, well, the rod system, the screws that are inside those canoes. Yeah, so the A380 was originally developed and designed with just with no reversers whatsoever. With just the wheel braking, because obviously they have, I think it's 18 wheels, is it, or 16 braking wheels that they utilise on the A380. And when you consider that each wheel itself has anything between 4 and 6 brake assemblies within it, so imagine your car, each wheel having 6 or 4 brake discs operating as opposed to just a single one. You can imagine how powerful that will be. So in other words, one wheel on an A380 has the braking power of a very, very efficient and highly developed sports car, because obviously they are they're carbon. I think they're carbon discs, possibly, but very lightweight component. Of course, it needs to be. So all that braking power meant that they didn't actually need any reversers whatsoever. But Airbus, obviously, the customers were a little bit freaked out with that. So Airbus said, right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll ask Rolls-Royce and GPW to implement reversers on the inboard engines, and they then obviously fed that data back to the customer, and the customer was like, that's fine, we're happy with that. So that's the main reason why they only have inboard reversers. Not as I originally thought when I started Big Jet TV all those years ago. No, don't have reversers on the outboard engines because wings are so wide, the engines overlap the side of the runway and it would kick up loads of blah blah. But I was completely wrong with that. But then again, to be honest with you, if they were to have reversers on the outboard engines, hello, here we go. See, there's another Dreamliner with brake issues. See, the main door gears have already been, they would have come down for the retraction, but then it was decided that they were going to stay up. So it's quite interesting. That's two in the space of, looks very odd, doesn't it? So that is waiting for the wheel, or one of the wheels, or maybe more than one, to stop spinning. Electrically operated braking system, not hydraulics. So yeah, quite interesting. Seen it on the 330 a couple of times. Once saw it on a Boeing 747, British Airways 747, long time ago, but quite a rare occurrence, to be honest, with the hydraulic systems, but a very common occurrence with the electronic system on the 787. Okay, this is nice. Uzbekistan 320 Neo next in. Great colours on this one. Look out for this one, folks. Welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. 7,300 people now tuned in to Big Jet TV on a Sunday. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Singapore, James Fletcher. Aviation live and videos. Good day to you. I remember Captain Dave saying on Twitter that your original theory about 380 reversers was the correct reason. Well, I'm sorry, but it isn't. Did he really? I don't remember that. Nobody told me anyway. Great livery. Look at this. Look at this. I'm so glad that Uzbekistan have kept their original style rather than adopting a new livery. This is great. Just kind of sort of like retro 1970s colours, aren't they? Funny sort. Looks great on a Dreamliner as well. Or anything, to be honest. Nice. Timestamp that, GP. Please. Did you copy that, GP? I never knew that. Apparently, Captain. What time's that United skipper going out, GP? Oh, folks, going to see a first here on Big Jet TV at London Heathrow today. Air France A220. Oh, in or out, did you say, Chilly? Okay. At 4:30, did you say? Okay, look out for that, folks, because... oh, sorry about that. Got me toggle stuck. Start the procedure of shutting down the systems now. Possibly shut one of the engines down, taxiing along one engine. Captain Chris explaining that in detail to me a little while ago about the fact that they do it and have been doing it for quite some time, actually. Virgin Atlantic, as have many airlines, did it as far back. Okay, so she's inbound. 4:17 is the estimated time of arrival for the Air France A220, so stick around for that. Got any French rallies or friends who are French? Andrew Feast, a very warm welcome back to you, Andrew. Amy Williams is a new member. Welcome, Amy. And we've got Harken Torkvist. Torkvist, sorry. Hey, all'Italia, e Cino, ya break my heart. You're not a winner at all, Jerry. Saw one of the old Alitalia liveried jets operating in here the other day when we went off air. Okay, there's another Dreamliner going out with BA. Let's see if they manage to retract the undercarriage on this one. Hot air. Here we go. So gear come down, doors come down, ready for reception, and there they are. Now that's how it should go. Obviously, as you can appreciate, the wheels, when they're spinning at somewhere in the region of 2,000 RPM. So it's quite a big assembly to sort of to slow down, if you know what I mean. Obviously, they use the airflow to potentially slow it down, but even so, if anything, slow it down to a manageable speed. But obviously, when a wheel assembly is it's supposed to it functions optimally at when it's vertical, obviously, and not when it's horizontal. Well, obviously it wouldn't do, but when it's in the horizontal position, it adds extra load to the bearings and the different working components within the hub assembly. It's a long flare. Wow. Nice long wheelie. Bit of aero braking there, possibly an old A330 Captain with TAP. I think we've got Air Malta. Is it Air Malta's new livery jet coming in as well? Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to catch that another time then, won't we? United 767 going up. Keeping their mechanics in employment, that's for sure. The 767. I don't know, wind it back. That's the 350. I did zoom in quite deep on the flight deck, but he may well have just been switching things off. And left turn, Clyde. Those winglets, there's something else, isn't they? Surely they're the tallest winglets in aviation. Is it the C-17 or the A400M? Which is the one that's got huge winglets on it as well? A380, 3 minutes. That is from Spywalks. A380, 3 minutes. Stephen Luscombe, great to see United and Delta keeping all their 767s in good use. Yeah, it's good for us because they're quite a quality old school jet, really, the 767. Sort of the last of the old school breed, if you know what I mean. Of course, the 300s, the 310s and 300s that are still being used for freighter services with DHL and of course UPS having modified all of their A300 fleet to glass cockpit. Richmond Miller, first time seeing since Jerry went 4K on my big screen. Wow, what a difference, he's saying. That's good. That's good feedback. It's amazing it makes that much difference, that it is a wow factor. I'm quite surprised at that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I did continually poo-poo it, didn't I, Jilly? Did you poo-poo the poo-poo, Blackadder? Well, I'm afraid, sir, that the poo-poo has been poo-poo. Randy Bushbound, JetBlue finally got some slots Schiphol, at least for summer, from Boston and JFK. But they don't have the best aircraft for now to fly the route. They will have to wing it. Airbus is behind deliveries. Randy Bushbound, yes, it is a big problem. When we say Airbus is behind delivery, folks, it is primarily, obviously, down to raw materials for the manufacturers of the individual components, and that's why I think a lot of problems have been with the delivery of engines from the different engine manufacturers because of their slowdown in having freight. In having components manufactured. Is that Etihad's freighter? Oh, she's still got her door open, so nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. James XL, welcome back, James. Good to see you. And Irish Dublin is back in the house with Big Jet TV as a member. Well, good to see you. Ned Seagoon, talking about DC. We travelled on VC10s. Oh, you lucky so-and-so. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I mean, I've flown on Britannia before, DC-8s. But unfortunately, I never had the opportunity when I was a young lad to fly on the VC-10 because my dad being a pilot, I think we went on BCAL most of the time because we were quite close, quite nearby to Gatwick. But of course, I flew quite a lot with my old man on the DC-8, which was great. Proper swashbuckling. Those were the days when health and safety weren't really... Frederick Bjorklund, a very warm welcome to you, my friend, as a Big Jet TV member. First time here, great to see you here. Welcome to all our new members. Please, folks, don't be shy, come in. Thank you. Emirates 380, here we go, folks. And we've got a member on board, did you say, GP? A member's son on board this 380, folks. Here we go. Okay, so like we talked about, inboard reversers only on the engines. Could go quite loud. Depends on how heavy she is. Let's grease that one. Run it all the way down to the end of 09 left. Nice soft touch on the brakes. Those big spoilers over the wing creating a serious amount of stopping power as well. So all those things combined, little bit of engine reverser maybe. You can hear the brakes. Motocross bike. Sondrop is a new member. Welcome, Sondrop. Please, folks, like I say, come in and get involved in the chat. I'd like you to, because it's good to talk. I think I'm more sad that I didn't fly in a VC10 than Concorde, EGPX saying. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because the VC10 was a proper old school jet, wasn't it? Like, brought online to counteract the 707 and the DC-8. Air India have put an order in for 72 350s. Stephen Luscombe saying, yeah, David Dunlop in the Air Force, the VC-10, you see backwards, sit backwards, possibly saying there. Thank you. Sink rate where it's sort of like 50, 40, 30. Just like pull it, stop it from banging itself down on the runway, unlike that 350 pilot. So you can see the distinctive lack of hydraulic lines around the undercarriage system on the 787. Unlike the big busy sort of like systems that you have with hydraulic braking systems. So you can imagine that all the weight that's used for the components for hydraulic brakes, you know, everything that goes to it is probably you know, 500 kilos a wing, a side or something like that, maybe a ton or something like that. TriStar, amazing aircraft. Simon Willoughby, yes. Screaming Emu, your 220 is broken. Question mark. Rick Lork, first trip was on a Boeing 727 to Vegas. Return on a DC-8, nothing like old school jets for me. Wow, yeah, there we go. Got a lot of people, I have to say, on Big Jet TV who are from that generation who appreciate the old school jets. We always get into a good conversation with that one. Jane Dudley, amazing A380. It's a nice 330 going out of 09 right with Virgin Atlantic, one of their CEO jets. Slowly but surely they're getting rid of these older generation aircraft and planning to be the youngest airline, youngest British airline, which won't be a difficult thing, let's be honest. British Airways are obviously doing their best, but they have a significantly larger fleet with their regional jets and so on and so forth, and of course continue to operate their A380s. But they're doing all they can. Roger Norsworthy, Air France 220-300, 15 minutes out from arrival, coming in from the south. Roger Norsworthy, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, this is a lot of people might think, oh yeah, it's just a 220, but folks, this is a Air France A220. The first time we've seen it I think she's already been into Heathrow. It's not new for the airport, but this is the first time. I think they only started operating the other day, if anything, maybe even later than that. Hakan Tornqvist, my first flight was in a 727. Steps up the back on the 727, and they are called, commonly known in the industry as the, what was the fella who jumped out the back? DB steps, or DB Cooper, the Cooper steps, or what? Yeah, I'd got no idea. You're nicked. That was a quality show in the time of the 727s, 707s, DC-8, 747, 100s, etc. Tri-Stars, oh my goodness me. The list is endless. BAC 111s. Oh, the classic days. When you could hear a plane for about 10 minutes after it departed. Well, maybe not that long, but as a kid growing up in a little village in Sussex, not that far from Gatwick, as the crow flies, when a 707 would take off and go over the little village, it's just so noisy. I remember when I used to do flight tests as well with Canadair CL-44s over the village. Not over the village, but it was on its flight path, but yeah. Swingtail CL-44s with trade winds. DK's a new member, welcome DK. And we haggis, Sarah, welcome we haggis to Big Jet TV. Great to see you. Well, we have us Bruce McDonald. Oh, sorry, I flew across the Pacific on a VC-10. Now that's a long flight without IFE. Yes, oh my goodness me. Yeah, just take it all for granted now, didn't you? Flew on a Manx ATP. That was a scary flight, Paul. I think it was Paul saying there. Yeah, flew on a Manx ATP. Jason Matton, what do you think about the Tri-Stars being retired from all fleets, Jerry? Well, that was quite some time ago, Jason. So yeah. So it's a bit late for that one, I'm afraid, Jason. But yeah, of course, a great shame. Secondary axis freak. Those newer 220s take off like bush planes. Yes. Extremely efficient little aeroplane. And I did hear, I've never heard it officially from an Airbus source, but whom I heard it from was quite a decent source, was that Airbus are looking to perhaps replace the A320 variants with the A220 at some point. Oh, Stephen Luscombe did Paris-Marseille on a Caravelle. There's an old school jet, man. Used to get them in at, I think SAS used to operate the Caravelle. Certainly Air France into London Gatwick. Gatwick was a proper heavy-duty airfield back in the 70s and 80s. Ram-packed full of DC-10s, Tri-Stars, 707s, 747s. Viscounts, Britannias, CL-44s, all that old school stuff, man. I think, to be honest with you, that the 320 Neo, well, in fact, to be honest with you, that all the family have more or less the same capability. It does all depend on the weight of the aircraft, of course. The reason why the the A220 has, thank you, A220 has been given, has the right, the capabilities to land on short airstrips like London City. That's why it's such a highly sought after aircraft. Okay, what's the question then, mate? Ian asking about the best hotel to stay in for plane spotting at Heathrow. Depends on, you know what, it's a difficult one, because I don't want to tell someone where to go, and then not only that, but you know, they're on different operations. If they're on 09s like they are here today, then I would always recommend the Hyatt, where I am right now. So you need to check, you need to do a bit of research yourself if you're coming to London Heathrow, and you know you're coming on a specific weekend, or the day before, check on the winds, maybe book your hotel literally the day before, that will work the best for you in terms of wind direction, because obviously if you're further up the strip, as you can see here, you know, if you come to the Hyatt place right here, folks, the windows that oh look, double bubble, the windows that overlook the runway here, and Jilly can vouch for this, is they're 5 meters long, folks. These windows right on the front face here of the hotel, overlooking the airfield, and even if they're on 27s, to be honest with you, it's a good bet. It's the Hyatt, is what it is, because if they're on 27s, you still get a great view. But if they're on 09s and you're at other hotels, then you're kind of limited to what you can see, because as you can appreciate, the hotels are further up the strip there, and these aircraft, other than the big ones, especially the 380s, are rolling out to the end of the runway. Yeah, Hilton Garden Inn as well. It's kind of like it's a bit it's a little bit bad etiquette for me to mention other hotels whilst I'm on someone else's hotel. So you can figure it out. Look at our stream. We are with other hotels along the strip as well, and over the other side. So there are other hotels that we go to who we've got great relationships with. And out of respect, for the guys here at the Hyatt, which have decent room rates, great staff, great catering, I have to say, their food is great. But mind you, all of their, you know, that's at the end of the day, if you're going to run a successful operation, you've got to have great service, great food, coffee machines, good coffee machines, you know, all that kind of thing. Room service. It's it all. It's it all. A couple of big tall tales. Air France coming in 5 minutes. Spy walks. Thank you. Rachel Lofthouse, Virgin. Lucy in the Sky is up next. I think that might have been an old comment, maybe. Heathrow Arrows. Do you know how many FedEx MD-11s, how many MD-11s FedEx have in their fleet? Do I still have time? Is the 220, call me on 500 feet GP, please, for the 220. Is that next in? Oh, okay. I can follow this Qatar 380 out there. Yeah, if you're staying at the Hyatt, folks, ask for a room on the left-hand side on the 5th floor. Left-hand side, 5th floor. And tell them that Jerry sent you. Christine Chase is a new member. Welcome, Christine. BOAC had to buy 20 VC-10s to get permission to buy 707s. The aircraft they really wanted. Really? They had to buy 20 VC-10s to get permission. Wow. Oh, okay. Why do you have to get permission to buy an airplane? That doesn't really make sense, but I'd like to know more about that. really old school with the prop planes that some of us flew on as kids and still fondly remember. DM Finpar, yes. Me being one, flying on a British Eagle Britannia with me old man. Proper old boat shaker that was. Oh, Kerry Davies' first flight was Air New Zealand 747. Wow, Simon Willoughby 787 or 350. Which planes do people prefer? Tricky one that, because 787 has a lot of great features, as does the 350. I think if it was, it's a tricky one. It's a very tricky one. I always like to try and remain on the fence because, you know, both aircraft, like I say, have tremendous qualities about them. In terms of aesthetics, that's what I'm saying. Which one, GP? Oh, Rwandair 330. This is quite rare. We normally see this. On remote stands. So. Push back from the sea gates. Okay. Was that Muttley? I'll get you, Penelope, pitched up if it's the last thing I do. All right, yeah. Look at the little sweeping machine. Look, look at that little sweeping machine. Seagates. So he's up the top there, GP. Yeah, he's obviously up the top there at Seagates. Yeah. Let's just have a little look here. Oh, yeah. No, I can sit there. There it is. There, isn't it? Isn't that it there? Isn't that him there, pushing back? Somebody on that aircraft, folks, a delayed jet 380. Stuart on board that aircraft. Amazing how many people we, during every show now, we always have at least a couple of people who are on aircraft, either inbound or outbound. Air France A220, folks, here we go. Check this out. This is quite a rare bird. It's going to look good in the Air France livery as well. We can consider Schiphol for we ain't got so much time on the planner, really, you know. Yeah, of course, as you know, folks, we do a European trip once a month and a US trip once a month. That's the plan anyway. We always try our best to stick to that schedule. Sometimes we might get a bit mixed up depending on if we're doing something like we did out there in Houston. Good looking aeroplane in the Air France livery. There it is for the first time on Big Jet TV, folks. Welcome to London Heathrow, you French person. Don't go so fast, monsieur, because I am the Scarlet Pimpernel. Oh, God. Oh, nice. Saw that landing on my way here. Tim O'Dell been wanting to say thanks for this. Beats the Queen's beats the Queen's building in the 60s. Oh, okay, thank you. I don't know about that. I think the Queen's building only had views over the southern part of the airfield, as far as I'm aware. May have been a little bit better. I remember going up there as a kid, but a very young kid. So obviously, when you're young, you know, you think a wall that's 4 feet tall is about 20 feet tall. It's a funny old thing, isn't it? Bobby 13, due to my dad's employment with United, I was fortunate to have flown on the DC-6, DC-7 Viscount Caravel 720, 727 and DC-8 and loved every moment. Wow, Bobby, you lucky man, or sorry, you lucky person. Yeah, wow. That is some memory, isn't it? I mean, okay, I've flown. Pretty sure I flew either 707 or DC-10. I can't remember when I used to fly away on holiday with me mum and dad. But we didn't used to go away on holiday. We used to go on holiday like Cornwall and places like that. It's like, yes. But always remember those sort of like, you know, times on the tarmac at Gatwick. Got a great picture of my dad taking off from Gatwick. One of his ground crew took the picture. He's like 20 feet off the ground, the gear's already halfway up. It's just proper old school style. Get that gear up, son. Dave Carrington stayed at Hilton Garden in Terminal 2 and 3 last September, able to use roofs, top bar, able to see both runways. It was great. Yeah, Dave, yeah, it's kind of limited to views up there. I went up there and I had a meal up there, met a couple of pilots and Russell from Gemini Jets as well. Yeah, it's kind of like, because the edge is quite some way away from you, it's great views out of the glass, but in terms of I don't know actually, I haven't really, because obviously if you're on one side you're kind of restricted to left or right. Oh hello, here we go, look, there's another one folks, there's another one, look. Isn't that crazy, man? It's like one in 10 now. I am a 1 in 10. Wow, that's crazy, man. Nobody knows it. I can see him moving, GP. Is he moving now? A statistical reminder. So that's the front undercarriage, you can see there. It's not the doors. Doors haven't come down yet. So it's either hot brakes or a failure, a brake failure in terms of the spinning mechanism, the braking mechanism not operating properly. But it certainly seems to be a quite a common feature now on the Dreamliner. See it with Virgin Atlantic and British Airways. Wow, that's crazy, man. Crazy. Oh, we've got someone's sister on, is it sister, yeah? Friends on the Air Mauritius, sister on the Qatar, blimey. Captain on the United, not this one. Lovely old 767. They're catering, I think they're catering that 380. The big room. Rachel Lofthouse, Malaysian 350 inbound. Diane 78, CX7, that's the 747 freighter, I think 4 hours, 2 hours and 4 minutes over Hungary. Funny enough, talking about Hungary. Bruce McDonald, that's a rare one, the Air Algiers 330. Yeah, don't see it massively that often. It's usually their 320, isn't it? He's just taxied down Sierra. Sailor Mike, I remember when an Eastern Airlines DC-9 broke apart behind the wings when it had a hard landing at Pensacola in '87. Wow, pilot error was the cause. Wow. Jenny Westcott, friends of mine are going out on MK53 to Mauritius anytime now. Just boarding, there we go. That Air Mauritius jet. Will be over at T4, will it not? I think. Oh, Mark Jenkins, BA 380 from LAX on approach. Thank you, Mark. Steve Callahan. No, BA 380 over Cheshire. Chucky Shrews and Tim Smart has gifted 20 Big Jet TV memberships. Thank you, Tim. If you have been lucky enough to be gifted a membership, folks, please say thank you to your giftee. It's the right thing to do. Ah, John Pierce's little nephew. What's his name? Henry, did you say? Asking if planes can fly when it's thundering and lightning. Yes, Henry, they can. They will, of course, try to avoid any bad weather. Of course, that's kind of like standard procedure. Standard! Read all about it! Standard procedure on... with thunderclouds and stuff like that. Drainage Warrior gifted a membership. Andy James gifted a membership. Chris gifted a membership. Archipelago, good day to you, gifted a membership. Manuel Cortez, Colin Murray gifted a membership. A very warm welcome to all of you guys. Blue Stream Il Prairie was gifted a membership. Possum, g'day. Oh, no, it's possums are out in America, aren't they? Sorry. Oh, I don't know actually. Is that
There's our 380 going out, which is right. There's one of our members. Okay, Stuart's on board this aircraft. Watch it on the plane if it's got good enough Wi-Fi in it. Spend 20 quid and use it for 5 minutes. Spend the rest of the flight trying to refresh it and get it to work. And I have to say, folks, I'm not saying that on British Airways part, I'm saying that on most Wi-Fi systems. They still haven't cracked it, have they? Nice big right turn there, Clyde. Where's he going? LAX bound. Big right hand turn. Oh, Chicago, right. Okay. Yes, and Henry might want to look back, or his dad might want to, or his uncle might want to look back on the lightning strike that we caught from my garden. It was El Al, wasn't it? Flying into a thundercloud, and we actually caught a thunder strike. Thunder strike! Yeah. And of course the aircraft is bristling with what are known as static wicks. Quite difficult to see unless you're quite far up close, but generally all wing surfaces and oh, nice, dragging a bit of cloud there, nice. Oh, that'll look good on the plane, man. It's like you can see it boom, 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 boom as it goes past, and then you break out into that beautiful clear blue sky. Depends on how deep the cloud is, really. Had some very deep cloud bases recently. Last one we flew out on, blimey, took ages to climb up through it. Clearly a CF6 powered 330 CEO there. See the big pointy exhaust nozzles on the back there. When I say exhaust nozzle, they're actually directional nozzles for the exhaust itself, the exhaust flow itself. Nice jet. Okay, so we've got Qatar should be lining up. Where's our United jet, Julie? Okay, 380 inbound, folks. Get ready for this. Andy James thanking whomever gifted their membership. Avro Arrow once getting upgraded on a 747. Wow. Marjorie Neri, first time I ever flew was to Atlanta, USA, and landed on in a severe thunderstorm. Pretty scary. That was a DC-10. Yes, interesting that, because I flew into London Gatwick in a storm or very stormy conditions in a DC-10. I think it was United or American, one of the two, into Gatwick, and literally the right-hand wing. Oh my goodness me, I'm surprised we didn't go around, to be honest with you. The pilot did a fantastic job to save it, but wow, pretty scary. .380 is over Staines. Oh, the one that went out. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Stephen Lusk and BA are getting their money's worth on the 380s. Steffi Quinlan loved the 380s. I've been struck by lightning over the pond, only noticed out the window, Mark Jenkins saying. Tim Rotunda, I was on a 737 and we were hit by a bolt of lightning. Oh my goodness me. It was loud and everyone was certain that they were going to perish, but only for a split second. Yes, of course. That's why these, like I say, the static wicks that you see protruding from almost every... you can see them just about there on the upright winglet there, and of course they will take the charge, and wow, look at this, man. Pretty hot. She's coming in pretty hot, man. Of course, any opportunity for these pilots to not use the reversers, they will do so, because it obviously prolongs the life of the engines. Sooner have a brake replacement than an engine replacement, because obviously when the reverser systems need to be serviced, that is more or less an engine. You don't have to take the engine off. So we're waiting for United with Captain, who is it, Julie? Captain Bill flying it out. Allez, Veris! Allez! Veris is a new member. Welcome, Allez. Good to see you here, my friend. I flew in a T-Storm into Minneapolis in a DC-10, also harrowing experience. Rick Lork. And don't let that put anybody off who's in any way worried about flying. It's very, very safe. When's the last time you heard of an aircraft being taken down by lightning? Put it that way. Are all the lights that were supposed to go to Munich, are all the flights that were supposed to go to Munich today stuck at the airports that they arrived at yesterday? Will they? I don't know, Brian Stewart. It's the first I've heard of it. Major problem with thunderstorms is the turbulence associated with the cumulus clouds and microbursts beneath them. Yes, indeed, EGPX. Very, very true indeed. That's the one thing that obviously their new sophisticated weather systems on board these aircraft, the radar systems that they have allow them, and also, of course, the information that's being fed into the air traffic control, that they're able to avoid big cumulus clouds. You just don't fly into something like that. You avoid it like the plague, literally, because it will tear the wings off. If potentially, it'll certainly cause bleeding carnage inside a cloud, put it that way. So you generally find that most pilots will aim to avoid those or divert around the cloud, preferably not above it or below it, because obviously the turbulent air above it, and of course, like EGPX was saying, potential microbursts below it. So you generally tend to avoid it, even if it means a delay. Avro Arrow talking about winglets. Did Arthur get fixed? I don't know. We'll have to have a look and see. MG John 380 down. Don't come much smoother. True. That was a very, very smooth touchdown. Fresh Prince, what time are you leaving today? Don't know, Fresh Prince. Just take it by as it is. 4:40 now, 20 to 5. Of course, that is still only 20 to 4 in old school time of the old that old British winter time, or GMT as it's otherwise known. Now we're in the British summertime, although you wouldn't believe it to feel it. I've got gloves on and 4 layers and big woolly socks and everything, man. David Edwards, Project Thunderstorm. US Air Force, 1945, at Clinton County Airfield, Ohio. Used surplus World War II aircraft to investigate effects of flying through thunderstorms. Yeah, they did a lot of crazy things back in those days, didn't they? Everyone in when they were developing aircraft and systems that would look after an aircraft. Of course, I don't know when the wicks were developed, the static wicks that you see on board these aircraft. Maybe they were on the early aircraft, because obviously friction that builds up on an aircraft's skin, outer skin, and other components will obviously charge. It'll charge the aircraft up, won't it? There's me thinking, pretending I flipping listened to everything at school with physics and all that. It's just literally taught myself that because I didn't listen at all. Dyer, what are you doing? Pay attention, boy. Playing golf with the headmaster next week. That's going to be fun. Good morning, Mr. Lewis. It's all right, mate. You call me Matt. Don't worry. Gonna get detention for missing a putt. Anyway, we took off in Kuala Lumpur on a Malaysian 777 to a huge tropical storm. Eve Hosgood saying very fast and bumpy and climb out. Fascinating to watch. That's the thing, is to be fascinated by it and not frightened by it, because what you've got to appreciate is that those guys up front are just as keen to survive and make it as you are, you know. So you know, that's one thing one always has to be understanding of, is that it is literally just as important for the pilots to make it. Wow, that's a big old Oh, Big Cow Pam, Arthur went out 10 minutes ago. Not fixed. Yeah, that's going to be in one of the next major service intervals, I believe. It's not something that they can take off the line, because obviously they need the aircraft. These aircraft, blimey, as Qatar, looks like Qatar's lining up to go out, Julia. We haven't missed our Captain Bob, have we? Or is it Captain Bill? Bill and Bob. When the plane still had ashtrays to buy us. Wow. Must have been so many burnt seats, you know. When I say burnt seats, cigarette burns and all that in the old school planes back in the day. People falling asleep with the oily rags still going, you know. Mark Jenkin had thunderstorms above the clouds from Oakland to Vegas. It was fascinating to see the lightning playing in the clouds. Yes, I've witnessed that quite a few times. It is amazing. It's beautiful to watch. Lightning, you know, popping off either above or below you. That Qatar freighter's just pushed back. We've got Qatar is rolling now. Jenny Westcott's friend. Well, it hasn't gone out yet. There you go then, Jenny. Make a timestamp, make a mental note or a written note of the time that your friends have gone out, and then send them the link with the time and they can scroll forward to it. Oh, there's United. Oh. And this is Captain Bill. Was that the bottle jet just going out? Have a good flight, skipper, and everybody on it, of course. Some crazy weather yesterday, wasn't it? Was it yesterday or the day before? Hailstones and all that kind of thing going on. Go, Bennett, make your mind up. Tim Smart has gifted 20 Big Jet TV memberships. Thank you, Tim. Very kind of you, my friend. Wonderful thing to do. J-Mank 6Y. Ken Harrison landed at night during a thunderstorm in Yugoslavia on Adria DC-9 with the flight deck door open. Oh, great to watch the crew. Yes, there we go. Back in the days when the crew used to leave the flight deck door open. Wow, yeah. That must have looked amazing, man. Deep in concentration. Wonder if there were any bells or whistles that went off. Woot, 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 woot. Pull up, pull up. Terrain, terrain. DC-9. I'm glad you called it that as well. Wind shear. Why did BA remove the aircraft make and model from all their aircraft? I don't know. It's not something I've always, I've ever really noticed. Virgin 350 inbound from Real Sea Fishing from LAX. Here we go. Stuck in an EasyJet 320. Blimey. Oh, greasy. Very greasy. Sandy. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Whoop, whoop. Hello. Right, follow him. See where he goes. It's obviously some kind of a fuel leak, or hold on, we've got someone already. Old Jim's heading up the in the old one. Oh, okay. Is it there? Is it the old Festival of Creativity? Is she bust a seal or something? Yeah, it is her. Oh, what's happened? Come on. What you done? A little bit came out. Oh, all right. Come on then. Oh dear. Oh yeah, we've got the full force in here this time. Oh, she's all embarrassed. Look. Oh, what have I done? So what's that all about? Because this have the all personnel been evacuated from the aircraft by the looks of it? It's obviously some kind of a leak, I'd imagine. Possibly a wing seal or something like that. I don't know. Melody. I have Thai Festival of Creativity. Oh, I have the Festival of Creativity. Easy for you to say. Festival of Creativity model. There we go. Oh, Finnair 350. Here we go, folks. Someone going out. See, I think when they have an incident like this, I think they genuinely utilise as many vehicles as they can in order to preempt any issue that might need more vehicles. So they sort of like simulate as best they can, because otherwise they're just sitting around drinking tea, aren't they? Much rather be out on the airfield or all doing things. Using it as drill practice. Yeah, they're headed back, man. They're headed back. Nothing to see here. Nice Finnair jet. It might have been a piece of hazardous freight or something like that. That was nice 764. Listen to that. Quite a steep climb for her, really. He always has to have a little look in, doesn't he, eh? Hello, mate! Oh, he's coming quite... Hello, fella! It's where the crows get involved in it. Oh, baggage. Royal Air Maroc Dreamliner, the Ram. Usually they're 737. Bring their Max in here as well, don't they? I think all types. It's a bleeding good job I bought the gloves today, mate, I tell you. Flipping heck. Bleeding freezing, man. A220 with Air France intersecting. Wow, it gets going, doesn't it? That's going to be up in the air before... Yeah, there she goes. Oh, go, up you go. Okay, maybe not. Somewhere around about there, maybe. Wow. Back to put the kettle on, boys. Who's got the biscuits?
LFC Ian, some of these African airlines have some very nice old school liveries and they look amazing on the modern jets. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that Royal Air Maroc does have a nice livery about it, and it has got that kind of like, you know, speed stripe sort of like old school look about it. Is this Turkish? Indeed it is. 321 CEO, interestingly enough. They're going to have to rebrand it, innit, the CEO, because it's. I think they do still offer it. Do they? Does Airbus still offer the older engine typed CEO as a new aircraft? Screaming you, except at spool up, then you can hear the 223 miles away. Wow. Nice. Complex set of components to incorporate aluminium and or alloy components within that carbon wing assembly on the Dreamliner and the 350, of course. Of course, the main when I say, well, yeah, the bulkhead area behind the wing is obviously where the majority of the components are located. So they obviously have a huge sort of like spar, wing spar. Obviously, is the major structural strengthening component within the wing. Bobby 13 geared turbofan, yes. Adrian Tremlett, why, Jerry, the fuel saving on the Neo is huge? Yeah, that's why I'm saying that the CEO, the current engine option, that's what it's known as, or the NEO, the new engine option, and there are huge savings in terms of fuel. Not in terms of performance, in terms of speed and so on and so forth. Much the same range as the older engine, but with the newer big fan blade assembly on them. They have more air bypassing through the outside of the core of the engine, less air being ingested by the core of the engine, and as a result of that, obviously saving a significant amount of fuel and money and wear and tear on the engine, and better for the environment as well. But the only reason why I say current engine option, it's quite old, isn't it, in terms of the fact that I don't think that the older variant of the A320, and 321 and 318, etc., 319, I know they stopped manufacturing the 318 quite some years ago. Beautiful. If you missed it earlier on, folks, Etihad 777 freighter. Look at that, unmarked. Linda, you won't be able to chat on the TV, Linda. The best thing to do is obviously watch it on TV and chat on your phone would be the best thing to do, I think. Oh, okay. Industrial walkouts tomorrow, Andreas saying, and that's our friend in Germany, isn't it, Andreas? Tomorrow, industrial walkouts planned to all major airports in Germany. National air traffic is practically coming to a halt. Blimey. It's catching, isn't it, the old strikey stuff. Straight! Roy Redgate flew out of lid on an old twin prop with plasters on the side, and a flight crew had the pickles headgear on. Blimey. Christian Daniel Pop, is it normal for the smoke from the tyres to be felt when the airplane the smoke from the tyres? Well, I think what you're meaning there is it normal for the impact perhaps of the tyres? Yes. Don't get me wrong, the landing was amazing. Yeah, I mean, what you've got to appreciate is that obviously these tyres are filled with nitrogen, and they're around about 200 psi on each wheel, around about that region. And as a result of they're like rocks, basically. So, no matter how smooth you land, very rarely do you not feel the impact between the tyre and the surface of the runway. This is nice. 737 high speed. She's a Max. Taron. Or a lot, sorry, my apologies. Not a lot. It is a lot. Yeah. Nice. Like that livery. Polish airline. One of the first to operate the 737 MAX.
Qatar's freighter, is that going out? That's nice. Like that. Tim Smart has gifted 20 Big Jet TV memberships. Thank you, Tim. A lovely thing to do, and of course, like I say, always, if you are gifted a membership, please please come in and say thank you to whomever. Korean 777 inbound, 6 minutes out, Mirrors, saying thank you, Mirrors. Andreas, Polish Independence livery. Yeah. Richard Selin on a recent Southwest 737 MAX. Flight crew left cockpit door open almost until the door closed. Great view of cockpit from my seat. Glass screens were huge like home. Big screens, yes. I mean, obviously that is one aircraft that has really gone through modifications in its lifetime in terms of variants. Like I say, it's a bit of a funny one. It's almost like as many variants as the Spitfire. Crazy from the old original analog classics before any glass was introduced. Fly-by cable as well, the original 737s. Stephen Lusk and Polish are very well known for their animators and artists. Chucky Shrews, that seemed like a very slow glide slope approach for that 737. Was that perhaps? Tobias, yes, Martin P. Spanair. Oh right, yes, Spanair. Yeah, you need flaps, man. You need flaps. Birdman. It's not just impact on the tyres, but spin up. A lot of energy is transferred and the spoilers create lift dump, which increases the load on the tyres for good reason. Birdman, yes, thank you for that. Great information. Something that Screaming Amy brought up a while back on a show a few shows ago about the impact that the load, the additional load that the inboard flaps create on the main undercarriage to improve braking efficiency. Downforce, if anything. And of course, as you see, a lot of times when you're on approach, especially in the 737, I've got to say, and you see the speed brakes on the wings sort of like just moving ever so slightly. That makes perfect sense from what somebody was saying earlier on about the fact that it reduces lift or takes the pressure off of the underside of the wing and allows air to flow up through the gaps. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I've never heard it used before, but it does make sense. Ned Seagoon. What a great surname, Seagoon. Alan B, no Antonovs today. DHL 767, approximately 3 minutes out. Rachel Lofthouse, thank you. Tobias, I cannot have such collections. I live in just 36 square metres. Is that... Well, you can always have a micro model collection, can't you? Lots of people do. Have a... Oh, hello. Nice retro Aer Lingus 320. We've seen this on the last show as well, so they're obviously on this, keeping it on this route for the time being. Got to get out to Dublin. I've done a little bit of research. Apparently the you can see there's a lay-by on the northern on the new runway, next to the new runway. Whether it's good for spotting, I don't know. Whether there's you know, a bank like there is on the other side, I don't think there is. So you're not above the fence line, which is a bit of a shame. Nice. Oh, Dustin Jackson has gifted a Big Jet TV membership. Great thing to do. Thank you, Dustin. Lovely thing. Thank you very much indeed. Please come in and say thanks. These are very commonly, very common that these Aer Lingus jets are one after the other, but in from different airports, I think. Cork and Dublin, is it? Little CF6 engine, CFM56, sorry, engine on that A320. Very popular engine, one of the most heavily sold, I think. That and the IAE engine was one of the biggest sellers before they moved on to the big ones. Adrian Tremlett, March 2020, looks like the last CEO. There we go, Adrian, thank you for that. What's the point in even having it then? Okay, last one delivered in 2021, someone else saying. Wesley Cooper, yes, thank you. A few people have sent us details on, or information on the spotting location at Dublin, but I believe from what I'm hearing it is below the fence line, which kind of means that we'd have to take the van over there, which is a huge costs a fortune, costs a bleeding fortune. What's that, GP? Oh, thank you. Korean 777, folks, here we go. Blast of reverse there. Looks like a relatively new, maybe not, maybe it's just been cleaned that flap, I don't know. Absolutely insane how cold it is, mate. Cannot believe it. Mind you, we'll all be complaining in a couple of months. Oh, it's far too hot, you know. It's ridiculously hot. Yeah. Jim, Korean. Liz Matthewman, beautiful. Korean Air, beautiful. Nick Gray. Okay, DHL 767 next in, folks. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Aviation in 4K BA doing 787 and 777 flights to Frankfurt in April. Might have to jump on one of those. What that's about. 767 with wing in as well. Nice colour mix coming up. Nice. DHL and Korean jet together, same shot. Tower Sim Earth. I think that might be going to remote stand. She's facing the wrong way to. I don't know though, if they push her back far enough she can make a straight right. Her, all the colourful spring plumage is showing up, yeah, that's about it really. Nothing else colourful at the moment. This could go up quick. Oh yeah, look at that. Big old climb rate on that. Gonna get it, might even make the clouds. Yeah, a bit of plumage, little bit of plumage. Just get on, man. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a push and start. Nick Woodward. I think I gave a shout out to Nick Woodward, just in case I didn't. It's gifted 5 Big Jet TV membership. And there we have Tim Smart as well with 20. Yeshua's disciples. No markings whatsoever. Marjorie Neri looks very odd. Well, to be honest with you, they've probably been operating that jet for a number of years without any livery on it. Linda, that was a 777, a Boeing 777. Hong Kong, thank you BNS 1015. This jet going to Hong Kong, so she is indeed.
starting her engines and preparing the aircraft for departure for flight. Hey! We're having our photo taken here. Get out of the way. You've had enough, love. Virgin Atlantic. Turkish 777 next in mirrors. Thank you for that. 6Y. Right time to stop slumming it in Cathay's first class lounge and go find my gate. Yeah, it's difficult to pull yourself away from those posh lounges, isn't it? There's only so much cheesecake you can eat. It wasn't cheesecake though, was it? It was a beautiful mousse. That was it. Yeah. But not. It was a solid mousse when it was like, you know, one that had been put in the fridge and allowed to set. Oh, it was lovely. Apricot, I think it was, wasn't it? Hello, sailor. 777, did you say that 777 was Emirates? No, Etihad, I think it was, wasn't it? Did I say Emirates? But it was Etihad Cargo. Oh, hello. 6Y. I'm on the Finnair 350. Try to give you a phone light from 23 left. Taxi out. 23 left. Squirrel. To be honest with you, Squirrel, it's not for me to say which airline has the best food, because it depends on what. Well, let's look at it across the board in terms of you know, what class you're in. That's obviously this is a nice. Yeah, got him. Oh, funky shot, funky shot. Ah, you little sod. Oh, face off. It's the little cat and the big cat, isn't it? Who's going to scowl off first? Dustin Jackson's ready to wear my Big Jet TV swim shorts. Wow, come on summer, yeah. I think the only place you're going to be wearing them at the moment is in the bath, isn't it? Whee! Make a little slide. Tobias, where's the Turkish man? Just got it, Tobias. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've never been massively disappointed in any way with on-board catering. We are, of course, talking about long haul here and not short haul, because short haul it's a packet of crisps and a bottle of water. If you're lucky, and understandably so, because they obviously need to make money and blah blah. Or unless, of course, you're in business class up front, in which case you get offered food. But in terms of long haul, American, Eastern, US carriers, I've got to say Emirates was exquisite. BA is great. United is great. The American carrier, it's all of them. Oh, look, the big one's going. Look. He's skulking off, Jilly. He's like that slow. Watch out, the little one might pounce, man. You're not in the safety zone yet, son. go, mate, you go. I think they're waiting for the big roux to, well, the roux's waiting for the Cathay Pacific. Paul MK can't beat the Egg Benedict Royal on Concorde. I guess you couldn't, could you, really, mate? Have we got a cold front coming in or something, or is it just... We have. Temperature has massively... Yeah. Mic swap, stand by. Sorry about that. Just double check the mic, GP. MG John. So what actually powers the hydraulic lowering and retraction of the undercarriage? It's that powered by the auxiliary engine in the tail. MG John, once the no, it's not the auxiliary power unit. There is always when they start the aircraft, they usually start the aircraft with the engine or engines that control and power the hydraulic systems, so that they can. So the air start systems can all kick into operation, etc., etc. But it's the engines that power the electrical or hydraulic systems that raise and lower the undercarriage. Tristan Warrilow, looking good. The roux on the tail suits the A380 perfect. Doesn't it? It's a big old lump, isn't it? Beautiful. Andy P. Slow snow on the hills around Glasgow. Flipping heck, mate. Brian Stewart. Cathay now being followed. Great shot there. Well, electrics power the hydraulics and the engines power the electrics in flight. Screaming Emu, there we go. Thank you for your input, Screaming Emu. Always good to hear it from somebody who knows. I'm just sort of like telling it from basic sort of like basic knowledge. But the APU is generally used just to keep the onboard systems, keep the aircraft alive during its time on the ground, and it will be used obviously to create the power to start the first engine, and then the air start systems will kick in. Of course, don't forget that the 787 has an electric engine start system, not air start like the hydraulic air start like the most traditional, conventional aircraft engines. When I say electrical start, it is electrical motors that create the winding, the gearbox to start the rotation of the main fan blade assembly up to a certain point where the engine itself creates its own power and then actually creates its own compressed air, at which point the systems will kick in with the fuel, and that's when you hear the combustor firing up and all that, which is a great sound, man. Screaming. And anytime the engines are on, system logic will take the electrical power off the APU and put it on the engines. There we go. Look at that. Love that. Very interesting, because I mean I've spoken to pilots before, some pilots who actually are not fully aware of how the systems work on a jet. They just basically know what the protocol is in terms of starting, you know, the aircraft and so on and so forth, not how it actually starts. And it's always great to speak to someone or have somebody on the chat who's highly knowledgeable about that whole procedure. James the Drummer, the plane equivalent of a whale call. Yes, it is, and it can be used as an alarm clock if you live nearby an airport. Sailor Mike, DHL 767 that we've just seen taxiing to its little cul-de-sac over there, which is where DHL operate from. So, where's our Cathay Pacific 747? CX7, I think. Real sea fishing, 787s use gravity to lower the gear. Hydraulics are only used to lock them down and raise them. Really? Gravity? Where has he got that from? I've got to be honest with you, I'm a little bit confused about that, because if it was gravity, really? I mean, I can understand it. But it's only hydraulics that do that last bit of locking the mechanisms. But really, hydraulic? No aid whatsoever in the extension of the gear. That surprises me. Great information. Never heard of it. There's your Air Mauritius going out, GP. So who's on that? So we've got someone on this jet, folks. This is the 339 with Virgin Atlantic firing up. Might get a little bit of a... Oh, Ben Brown. Eaters 350 is going to be in next Saturday tonight. Okay, so it's on Flight Radar's schedule. Diane 786, over Belgium, 48 minutes. Jez White, thank you. Daffyd Lewis also confirming HGC over Maastricht. Remember flying there with me, old man, as well. Jenny McDermott, CX7, 48 minutes out. Let's get her on Flight Radar, folks. We've got somebody operating that aircraft, don't we, Jilly? The pilot's first flight into London Heathrow. Let's just hope she does come into this runway and not on the southern runway, because it would make sense, obviously. Carl Hannon, gravity drop is used only in an emergency when hydraulics is not available. Yeah, I mean, if it was gravity, it would just fall, wouldn't it? And you feel this... Yeah, I mean... heard that used in normal procedures, because you feel the doors open, flap, and then you can feel the gear extending, and that extension, if you were to rely purely on gravity, with airflow and everything, yeah, I just don't know. Jerry, you can read it at the points guy, Real Sea Fishing. Well, I've got to be honest with you. Far be it from me to say some people are a little bit badly informed, but I've got to be honest with you. I find it very difficult to believe that the 787 gear extension is gravity used. Yeah. I think the points guy might be talking. Might be need to maybe go back and get the right information rather than sort of like making it up or whatever. Good luck to him. Birdman, Mark BCLE. He's saying yes. Gravity is used to drop the 7/8. Well, obviously gravity is part of the whole procedure, isn't it? You know, the gear naturally falls down, but the whole procedure is, I'm sure, using a hydraulic system, which or electrical system, whichever systems the 787 uses, because it has so many dynamic electrical systems on it. But I just can't see that when they operate that lever for gear down, that the system just opens the doors and the gear falls out, because, you know, you've got two parts to the operation. Obviously the gear doors have to open first, then the gear has to drop. Now the gear has to be locked in position whilst those gear doors are opening, you know, otherwise they just damage the doors and fall against the doors. So what it's saying is that there's a locking mechanism which controls the gear, keeps the gear up in the locked position, and then when the door, the system just unlocks itself and it falls out. No, I'm going to have to get this off of a 787 pilot. You know, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll hold my hands up. I guarantee it. I'm intrigued, and yes, I will be amazed if the extension of a 787 Dreamliner main undercarriage is fed by gravity only. Obviously, gravity has a part to play in it because it's falling down, isn't it? You know, but the extension has to. It's a big weight there, and yes, it would probably, but to expect it to drop and then a hydraulic system locks it into place, I don't know. We're going to have a bit of a disagreement. Some people are going to agree on it, other people are going to disagree on it. I'm just asking you folks from a physics point of view, and trust me, I was never any good at, you know. I just find it very surprising that a major component like the undercarriage would be reliant on free fall. You're telling me it's free fall? There's no system there. So at what point does it stop it from free falling? Because that system to stop that would have to be quite strong. It's not coming up against any resistance on the ground, is it? You know, so therefore the components that stop it from free falling would have to be pretty substantial. Obviously, like we just said, gravity will play a part in it, but the whole procedure of extending the gear is all using a hydraulic system. It won't be completely free of hydraulic or any kind of feed at all. There has to be some kind of feed there with the hydraulics. It just doesn't make sense to me, to be honest with you. The gear on the 787 uses gravity to deploy in normal operation. It is true. Tails from the hovel. uses... Well, it will use gravity. Of course it will use gravity. But are you telling me that it's completely void of any hydraulic assistance whatsoever? That it purely drops? That they pull the pin out and bosh, down it goes, and then it just seems very archaic, that kind of system to me. When you see an undercarriage being deployed on a 787 Dreamliner, when you see it coming down and extending, it comes down at a pace, doesn't it? It just doesn't go bang and fall into place, does it? You know, I'm not going to give up on that one, man. I'm going to have to take it up with either an engineer or someone, because I find it very hard to believe that the main undercarriage on such a major aircraft it doesn't use any form of assistance in terms of hydraulic, doesn't have any resistance whatsoever, that it just falls down. But there we go. Michael Paul, welcome to Big Jet TV. Sounds like a bar bet, P-Popsy saying, yeah. Screaming emu archaic is what Boeing do best. That's not my, someone else's. Alex Collins, hydraulic resistance is taken care of by the hydraulics themselves. Yes, but Alex was saying that there are no hydraulics. It's all done by gravity. I think people are a little bit sort of like confused about possibly the fact that something coming from a high point to a low point obviously uses gravity, doesn't it? So obviously that gravity is used within that, but there has to be a certain amount of resistance when the gear is extended. You see it come down. Watch it on any gear, on any video where you see where they do a swing check on an aircraft, on a big major airliner. You know, it doesn't just fall. Obviously there is that option. There is an emergency procedure. I've seen it on the 380 where should the situation arise, they're able, the gear will in time drop using pure gravity, and but then they have to hope that the systems will lock into place. Great discussion, but if that was you know, unless it was an engineer, a test engineer, or someone who really knows his stuff, I'm going to stick to my guns and say that that's not true. It's pure gravity, and there are no other systems involved in it. Some people now starting to say, well, yeah, I mean, obviously the resistance is created by the hydraulics. Well, then in that case, it is. It is. It does have Golden Bennett. That's a shame. Missed Iberia's 330. Hello, good afternoon. Is this the room for the argument? No, it's not. But you said it was. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Is that the full half hour or 1 hour? In all the hoo-ha, missed the climb out. I just got it. We've seen it thousands of times on here, haven't we, with an aircraft Dreamliner on approach where the gear is extended. It doesn't drop down, does it, like a flipping bag of spuds? It comes down at a controlled pace, doesn't it? You know, when you see it extending. Right, let the gear down, mate. Right, pull the pin out with your son. Bang! There it is. Lovely. Right, okay, a little bit of hydraulic just to lock it in place. Great arguments going on now, isn't it? Massive, great big, like, chat brawl. Squoopy got delayed. Good day to you, Squoppy. I think that's how I pronounce your name. Daz Landell, Klotz went forward to wish someone had told me. Well, the whole flipping of the UK told you, didn't they? Surely you must have known, mate. Mind you, I wouldn't have known unless I watched the musicals or someone must have told. Sorry, Daz, you can't have been like, you know, completely cut off from the world yesterday. Surely someone must have told you, or you've seen something on the news or something like that. Anyway, glad you made it happen. Glad you're here. Jenny Westcott, fantastic. Got my mates on Air Mauritius. Tristan Warrillow, Cathay Pacific 747, about 30 minutes out. Deborah Speller, shall I ask the cat? Susan New, you drop someone out of a plane, they fall like a bullet. Bobby 13, but I do agree. Thank you so much for whoever gifted me membership. Sarah West, Linda, Clipper 707, and now for something completely different. But I asked for the full hour. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. Yes, I did. Nice 737 NG. I want the points guy to ring me up and tell me. Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Him disrespecting the Virgin flight. Yeah, I found that very disrespectful, man. Putting his feet up on the wall. A brand new aeroplane. He's got his feet, all dirty feet, up on the wall. Very, 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 very disrespectful. Doesn't matter who you are, mate, or how many followers you got, or how many whatever, how influential you are. You should be showing a bit of respect towards other people. Don't walk in someone's house and start putting your feet on their wall, do you? Or like, you know, stand on the coffee table like, hey there. You know, just show a little bit more respect, mate, is what I say. But there you go, maybe not. Maybe he was just brought up in a barn, I don't know. Captain Ron, good day to you. Jerry, just reading on the Boeing website that the 787 uses a hydraulic system. Taffid Lewis, that's the end of it. No more, not talking about it anymore. Chris V, but thank you anyone. Anyway, Daffyd, thank you for that. Chris V is a new member, joining post-rant. Welcome to Argument TV. Yeah, it's conversation, isn't it? It's conversation, isn't it? It's not like, you know. Chris V, hello, long-time viewer, first-time subscriber. Great to see you, Chris. Kaz, can you film the landing gear? Yeah, I will, and we will. And between now and the next show, I will get an official written a statement from someone who knows what they're talking about. Always flying on the checklist. Gear fallout. Got a step rope and got a step ladder and a load of rope to operate the gear up. Pull the gear up. Here we go. Positive rate. Gear up. Heave! Heave! Nice chair, like that. 747 CX7's what we're looking for, folks. Debash mode. Good day to you, Daz Landell. Nick Gray. Mark B. Chris Phillips. Waiting for my father-in-law to land at Cardiff Airport on a 35-year-old 757. Wow, lucky guy. Sky over Heathrow getting dramatic. CX7 crossing the channel. Scott Cowell, thank you. And Mira's also confirming that she's 30 minutes out. That's our close off, folks. Tobias, maybe you can do an interview with an expert. I'd love to. Love to. Elastic bands at the ready. Okay, gear up. What's it bleeding? Wow, look at that, it's a stork, isn't it? Or heron. Blimey, he's a long way up. Is it? Or is it a bird of prey? It's a bird of prey, that, isn't it? Say it there, Dad. Come on, son, hold it steady, will you? No, that's bird of prey, man. Wow. Oh, funky shot. Almost. Beautiful profile shot there, man. I love the the reg written on the wing of these some of these eastern carriers. Fantastic, man. Positive rate, ropes ready, gear door down, and pull, heave, 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 keep pulling, heave, oh that's it, right, okay, lock it, put the pin in, thanks, right, bye. Stow ropes, ropes are stowed, sir. Yeah, that was a red kite. Huge population of red kites in the UK. That's one bird of prey that's... well, I say bird of prey, they're kind of like... they only eat roadkill and stuff like that. They don't actually go for anything. KC alternate is the alternate landing gear extension system. Uses a dedicated DC powered electrical hydraulic pump and center hydraulic system fluid to extend the landing gear. KC, let's just answer the question. Don't know where he's got that from, but there we go. VJ, introduce a cap stand and have the chief person come. Oh yeah. Gear coming aboard, sir. It's all banter, isn't it? It's all banter. Christopher Cotton, welcome back, Christopher. A returning member here on Big Jet TV. Great to see you. Welcome all our new members today, gifted or normally aspirated. Well, you're either turbocharged or you're normally aspirated. You're normally aspirated, you're a jet. Turbocharged if you're gifted. Oh, Stephen Luskin. Let's go for pigeons. That's funny. Lost the winch handle. Hodgie, Biman, Bangladesh 787 next to land. I've got the gear locked. A world without string is chaos. It's a bit like sellotapes, old school sellotapes. Nice. Very nice. Oh, it's the one with Steve Wright on the front. Steve Wright in the afternoon. Mr. Angry. Like that. Do like that livery. Sun's coming out, flipping neck. I haven't seen that for about 7 years. Steve, I wasn't bashing the person who brought the skier subject. I'm bashing the person who gave him that information, my friend. I don't bash anyone, I'll have you know. Thank you very much anyway. It's got a red star and all, we should know better. Carl Hanlon, did you know that our Caledonian DC-10s had to have oars on board? Oh, flipping heck, really. Was that as a reason? Was that for just in case of an emergency, a ditching? Well, probably for the dinghies. Don't they have dinghies? I don't know actually. What's that? Maybe he is. No, neither have I. Christopher Cotton, thank you very much indeed. Looks like Lucky Strike, Mark Willis saying. He's right, you know. He's right. Does have that like Lucky Strike look about it. I'll stick to my CX7 comment. CX7 in 22 minutes. Diane78, thank you very much indeed. John Sherritt, Mark Ashall saying red kite with gravity fed claws. Brilliant. And claws down. Such a beautiful wing on that aeroplane, man. That's why we're so desperate to. Didn't we film the Air France A220 going out about, or was that 320 that I mistaked? Oh, so there's more than one of them in town. Wow. So we did the one that the last 220 that went out, sorry, the last Air France jet that went out was the 220, was it? And they just got more than one of them. Wow. Carl Hanlon, yeah, there we go. For the ditching, for the dinghies, they had to have oars. Yes, of course. Right, we're going to ditch the aircraft. We want everyone to blow the windows out and stick oars out the windows, and then we're going to become a big giant ship. Charlie Redpath, no CX7 yet, mate. We're hoping she's going to be coming in on the on this northern runway. It's unlikely, I would have thought. We've got somebody on board the aircraft, in fact somebody who's flying it in. It's their first flight into London Heathrow, so that's why we're trying to catch it for them, but we'll at least get the touchdown on the southern runway, because it obviously makes sense, less taxi time, etc., if they bring it in on the southern runway, because of course the freight shed is right over there, so just over there. Clipper 707. In 76 I was on a 707 from Frankfurt to JFK, and after taking off the cabin crew informed the captain no coffee was loaded by catering. We landed in Brussels briefly and had coffee put aboard. Fantastic. An essential part of the whole journey, of course. Thomas Morehouse, I've got no idea. I think we will probably never see Aeroflot at London Heathrow again. Great shame, I've got to be honest with you, and I'm just looking at it from an aviation perspective, certainly not in any perspective on what's happening out there at the moment. 21 on order, Adrian Tremlett saying. 21 what? Is that oh, Air France 220, possibly. Scott Cloud, good afternoon to you. Looks busy at Heathrow. Yep. Oh, listen to that. Number 1 star. Chuck Tannehill has gifted 5 Big Jet TV memberships. Remember, all new members, you're going to be with us next Wednesday for Toulouse. It's exclusive to members only, and it will be great to have you there. And some people might say, oh, why don't you do it free for you? Well, that's what the channel is all about. It's powered by our members, our fantastic members, who we, as a result of that, we go overseas twice a month. Well, that's the plan anyway. One European and one US show. Scott McLeod gear up on the 380 will always be an amazing piece of engineering. Indeed it will. 35 tons of it, to be honest with you. It's a bit like one of those physics things that you used to have at school, where you start off with one rotating wheel and end up with another rotating wheel right at the other end, and how many chain mechanisms, what has to go in what direction in order to make that final one go up. Quite an interesting system. Robert Fleming, 7:47, I think, CX7, 7 minutes out, Kaz saying. James Wertel, Screaming Emu, LA Girl, Andy P, Chris Phillips. Are the skies clear at Heathrow? Not really, I'm afraid. Liz Matthewman, no, it's going to be on Wednesday, Liz, I'm afraid. Obviously you can watch it as a member when you get back later on after work. Member power, Squirrel, like that. Joe Croydon, what's your plan for the next US trip? Not sure yet, Joe. We'll obviously let you know that. Number 9, she's at number 9 at the moment, folks. Let's get her to number. There's still 5,700 people watching, so let's get Cathay Pacific CX7 to number 1, just for the pilot, really, to show him we care. Ian Rigby, what an incredible sight. Love the 380. So many people love the 380, and more people being introduced to it, of course, by the channel. Nice. If they still have the same issues, I'd imagine they do. Iran Air not able to refuel their aircraft. They have to come here on full tanks, or at least enough fuel to be able to take them back to whence they came. Echo 6 Bravo. She's still number 9 on flight radar. Let's get it to number 1, folks. Gary Lyon, Jet 2 have a big order from Airbus, switching to all Airbus fleet, leaving Boeing. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Thanks for that info, Gary. Of course, ITA are also going to have switching to all Airbus fleet. Number 8, HGC, thank you. CX7, 5 minutes out, Stephen Callahan. Is she approaching from the south or the north, GP? I'm not going to be able to see her. There she is. There she is. That means she's probably coming in on the north. She's coming in on the north, mate. She wouldn't try and, track that route, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, okay. Wow. Those clouds are quite low then. King of the North! Possibly catch her descending through that cloud. D Stew, looks like a great day for Planespotting. Don't know if it's a very high cloud base. Does that show the thickness of the cloud base there? Looks like a flipping great big cliff, doesn't it? Cliff Richard. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's great. Yeah. Yeah. Getting ready for the big, long turn left. Still some ways before they start that manoeuvre. And a slight, steady descent. She's number 2. Well done, folks. Sean, Andrew Arrow, thank you very much indeed. Ken Alloway moving up to number 2. Come on, pop pickers. Let's get her to number 1. Yeah. Josh Manchester, 500 more people needed to go to get her to number 1. It's probably some, I don't know. She's number 1, folks. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. That's great feedback to our pilot. This is, what's his name, GP? Did we get it? Do we get his name? His name is Richmond, we believe, the pilot on this Cathay Pacific 747. What's that, GP? Rich is his name, yeah. I can't imagine that going in on the southern runway if he's vectoring from this side. SAS. Say a bit then. Thanks, folks. That's great. You got it to number 1. That's really good. 3,000 odd people watching that aircraft on Flight Radar 24 now, and of course, if you're watching the show and you're new to Big Jet TV and you're wondering what's he talking about, Flight Radar 24, it's an app you can get, folks. It's also, well, it's an app, but also on PC you can get it as a website. It's where you can track any aircraft if your loved one's flying, or you've got somebody flying in to visit you, or your or parents are flying somewhere. You can track their aircraft. And it's very, it's got augmented systems on it. It's got 3D, all that kind of crazy stuff. And it is really, really cool. I've got to say, it's really cool. Have a play around with it, see what you think. Of course, there is a free platform to Flight Radar 24 as well. It's not straight away purchase and all that kind of thing. But yeah, somebody said about clear skies. Sorry, folks. I'm just going to grab that, whatever that is, at long range. Who's that? It's interesting. Nice Aer Lingus retrojet. Oh, it's going in on the southern. Oh, he's going in on the southern. Sorry, folks. Oh, that's bleeding typical, isn't it? But that is, yeah. Blair saying it looks like it's tracking for the southern runway. Yeah, normally 99% of the time, all when they're on 09 operations, all aircraft will vector for the northern runway for landings. But what they're doing here is what's known as what we call a rogue landing, and the reason being is because she's going to park right over there at the what they call the bread bin, which is the cargo handling facility here at London Heathrow. Get her touching down anyway. Aviation 4K going 9 right. Scott Cowell, Tom Collins. Oh, Scott Cowell and Tom Collins both confirming that was a Jet 2 aircraft. There we go, Carl. Mirrors, thank you very much indeed. Carl Jones, over 4,000 now, Josh Manchester. Guy, Jet 2, HI 567 Jet 2. Thank you very much indeed. Swiss Air, James Views was thinking it might have been Swiss Air. CX7 on the south. Margot, take care, all the very best. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Kevin Pride. Oh, there she is, man. Oh, what a shame. Okay, we'll get a beautiful sunset shot of her anyway. Should do. I say sunset. It's not sunset, is it? Got a couple of hours to go before sunset. Yeah. First time in Heathrow for this pilot, folks. And we welcome him. Bring it in, Rich. This is in from Dubai, isn't it, Johnny? Is it in from Dubai? Nice. Welcome, sir. Everybody loving that. Kathy and the birds, you'd hardly know it was the other runway. Great shot, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Stephen. Rab H, still a great shot despite nine right landing. Brilliant. Thank you. That. Thank you, everybody. Chris Howard, these are going to be rebranded as just Cathay Cargo. Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Taking the word Pacific away. It's quite interesting. Okay, so where's the departure going? Sounds like a pop over the top of my GP. Oh, where's that? Can't be there, can it? Yeah. That's not it there, is it? It's 4-engine, yeah, that is it. That's a 400. Airbus A400M. Yeah, cool. Nothing like a bit of military, is there, eh? Oh? Blimey. Look at the state of that. Good old Smokey Joe. Oh, funky shot. Put that cigarette out! More than a few Benson and edges going on there, aren't there? Oh, could get a good shot here. Could get a funky shot. Come on, son. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Here we go. There's another one, mate. There's another one. Nice. Nice. Oh, we're going to get a good shot here. Quite a steep climb rate on it. Done an F&F check yet, son? Sailor Mike, what was that? 707. John, we will at some point, yes, visit our friends over the other side of the airfield. Like I said earlier on, tend to try and avoid mentioning other hotels while I'm at another hotel, because it's just common courtesy, really.
Bev C, 2 Saudia tankers around tomorrow again into EMA for refueling to escort the fighter jets back after Cobra. Cobra Warrior, that is. TCC zoom is second to none, yeah. Well, never lets me down, the old camera, got to be honest with you. A little bit funny with the old conditions today. Sometimes it's a little bit on the sleepy side, a bit of a lazy every now and then. Okay, that's making it like so. It was one I flew to Newark in last year, N658UA. I flew on one and I got flea bites. Or some kind of bed bug thing going on. Nice shot there. Good screen. Possibly that was nice. Lots of things going on. Yeah. Red West got a great view of the 400M going right over my flat in East London. Thanks for the heads up. There we go, Red West. Great. Glad we could help. Ian Lyles, Emirates 380, 9 minutes out. David Farah is a new member. Welcome, David. Yeah, wow. Okay, so there's our closeout then. The Emirates 380. How about that? Don't forget, folks, we will be doing, now the clocks have gone forward, we'll be doing night shows here. Well, not night shows, but right into the evening shows, because obviously that kind of helps more friends out globally, if you know what I mean, because out in the east it's getting towards morning time, and out in the west it's in the morning time. Sorry, but it just kind of it works well, as do the early morning shows as well. We try and, of course, cater for everybody with regards to timings, because obviously you are great people and you deserve your aviation fix from whichever time zone you are from. Chris Phillips, father-in-law's 757 Jet 2 flying over Heathrow in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Think it's clear enough to get a view, or is there too much cloud, Jerry? Chris Phillips, at the moment, we're good. What's that? My father-in-law's 757 Jet 2 flying over Heathrow. Okay, well, we would need to know which direction. Is it heading west? Be great if it is. And then we can get your father-in-law flying, cruising over the top. Never miss an opportunity, man. You should know me to do that. More than happy to do that, my friend. Father-in-law's excellent. And it's a 757. Even more awesome. Next 5 minutes. Yeah, Jet 2 757 GP. Now which direction it's travelling. Oh, say about that. Looking for it. I'm looking for it. Clouds bubbling up though.
hope that we catch it. David Farrar, we got David Farrar, didn't we? Critical Fail is a new member. Very warm welcome to you. Warm Dude. Wow, really? Okay, apparently this 757 is also one of the oldest 757 still in passenger service. Is that right? You get a glimpse of it. Oh, that's Ben Brown. Right, okay, so that's right. Coming from the east, thank you very much indeed, Derek Thompson. I need it quick, GP, because the cloud's building up. We'll definitely spot it. How much of a shot we get of it, I don't know. Warm dude. I'll tell you what, one thing I'm not at the moment is warm dude. Flipping freezing dude. Okay, coming from Split to Cardiff. So that'll be north of me then, won't it? Or is it right over the top? Okay, I'm observing and looking out for this. Wow. Blimey, really? Wow. She's been through the wars, the old girl, by the sounds of it. Stevie Buchan, thank you. Over the City of London now. And I can see the 380 behind me vectoring. Here she comes, here she comes. We got her, we got her, we got her. She's track number 6 worldwide. Wow. Wow. That's a rare aircraft though. Was it the oldest in operational service? Wow. That's all we're going to get, folks, I'm afraid. 35 years old. Yeah, I'm afraid that's all she wrote. Well, we got a brief glimpse of her, didn't we? Look how deep that cloud bank is, man. It's like a piece of plasterboard that's been gnawed at. Funky. Okay, this Emirates 380 is number 3 on radar. Oh, it's either got Welsh football supporters on or the team themselves. Yeah, or both. Returning from the World European thingamajig, something like that. It's got the Welsh team on board. There we go. Judith Moore, what's the flight app Jerry recommended? Flight Radar 24 is the app, Judith. Might want to check it out. It's great for anybody, really. Not just aviation fans, just for plane spotters, but for anybody who's got any kind of interest in seeing. You will be amazed if you've never used Flight Radar 24 or any kind of app like it. You'll be amazed when you zoom out and see the amount of traffic that's active in the skies at any one time. Richard Groves, A380 over Windsor, and there she is. Right, if I'm going to be able to grab that. It's going to be a bit tricky with those. Come on, mate, get in there. Get in there, son. Let's see what happens when we do that. Sorry about that. Absolutely nothing. Sorry. Numb fingers. Can't believe I've got numb fingers. This time of the year, really? Come on. Mind that. And now, traffic. Get out of the way, you always drop. Scotty UK, I live on Flight Radar 24. Wow. Thank you, Liz Matthewman, Stevie Buchan. Been watching Prestwick on Flight Radar 24. That's 3 Royal Canadian C-130s in at the same time. That would be something I'd imagine to do with Cobra Warrior, perhaps. MG John, Flight Radar 24 recommended can track relatives in the sky on their worldwide travel. Worldwide travel is very informative. Yeah, I mean, it's lovely to know, isn't it, that you know, somebody's arrived safe, or which they will do anyway. But it's just fascinating to track them, especially with all the different options that you have on Flight Radar 24 with regards to, you know, the augmented stuff and the 3D and all that kind of crazy thing. Here we go, folks. Your final jet of the day. Yeah, what a finish indeed. Thanks everybody. Listen, stay tuned. Just a little bit of can I just say this, folks? I stuck the sticker on it, by the way. This is, I'm going to say it, because do you remember a long while ago we had all those problems with the phone, with the see if I can open it with me freezing flipping fingers. Remember the problem that we had with the waterproofing of the phone a while ago? I went online. Actually, Jilly found this for me on Amazon. It's kind of like rubberized, but really nice plastic, but has a rubber seal around it. It's operated by hand, not gravity. But there's my phone. That goes in there very nicely indeed. Fits there nice and solid. It's got a great seal. And folks, I have to say, when I got back that particular evening, I read up on it, and some moaning Mini had put on there, it's bloody useless, don't get it, it's flipping here, it didn't work at all. And I was like, then I'm going to cancel it. And the thing was that I actually cancelled it. But it arrived. And so I thought, well, I'll open it up and have a look and see if it works. And my goodness, he said the screen was miles away. You couldn't activate the screen. You couldn't use the screen. I'll tell you what, it's absolutely fantastic. Ghost Tech. Can you read that? Ghost Tech. GHOSTEK. Obviously made for people who are on fishing vessels or something, or fishermen when they're out on the boat, or people who work on the ferries or whatever, or work next to the beach or whatever. It's just really, really good. So thank you, Ghost Tech. This show has not been brought to you by Ghost Tech or by anything else other than you, Big Jet TV members. Thank you so much, folks. It has been fantastic once again. Thank you to the Hyatt Place. Look them up, folks. Right there, bottom right hand side of your screen. Great place to come and get all the great views that you do across the airfield, and works on 27s or 09s. It doesn't matter. So other hotels you might be a little bit, if they're on the wrong operations, it's very rare. 27s are more favourable obviously than 09s, and the airport will obviously try and favour those operations more often so if they can. Yeah, it's been another great day. Got some good footage, got some great stuff, all in 4K. Amazing. That's your advert for 4K. That's all you're going to get. No, don't have to have big bits of blobs everywhere showing you whatever it is. Thank you, Jilly. Thank you to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay warm. Flipping heck, you better wrap up, because there's a cold front coming in next week, I believe. Sound a bit like that lady there who does the old my name was from Lieutenant Morgan. There was once a lady from, what's her name? Pam Ayres, that was it. Look after yourselves, folks. Thank you very much indeed. It's been great, and you are a wonderful bunch of people around the world. Literally, all you people from around the world watching. We'll be back next Wednesday, but only on members down in Toulouse. We're going to be in southern France next week at the Airbus facility. There's going to be a lot of you folks out there who haven't been with us in Toulouse. It's great. It's a very sort of like laid back sort of like affair. It's not like, oh, amazing action, oh my God. It's more a sort of like, oh wow, look at that. Oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, look at him over there, and blah blah and all that. So we'll see him over there. We'll see you later. Take care, folks. Bye bye. That is a wrap, GP.